Hey guys, Token Dave over here, the dorky token black guy that's just trying to get by, and welcome to another edition of Street Fighter Flashbacks. In celebration of the 30-year anniversary of Street Fighter, I'm taking it upon myself to share my memories of playing the arcade and console games at that period of time, and share my reviews of other Street Fighter related media. I actually just recorded my flashback of Street Fighter Zero, and I saw something on YouTube and as well as something on my text that someone brought to my attention, and I had to revisit some things. And they just said, Token Dave, you said that you're sharing your memories, but for the past couple of flashbacks, you've just described the games and not go into depth of your memories of your experiences. And they're actually right. I have. So I'm going to probably extend my Street Fighter Zero actually videos in a little bit longer, because I really feel that Street Fighter Zero 2 in particular, this is the one that I actually have a little more in-depth fondness of memory. So I'll try to set up the game a little bit and then go more into my memories. So first off, right off the bat, a year later after Street Fighter Zero came out, Street Fighter Zero 2 came, and all the 13 characters in the previous game were included in this one. Plus, you had the return of basically two characters from Street Fighter 2, Zangief and Dhalsim, as well as the return of another character from the original, Gen. In addition, you also had basically, another return of someone from Final Fight, Rolento, which, to be honest, I don't understand that addition as well. I mean, granted, it was a little bit better for me personally than Sodom, who Sodom I felt was a waste. But Rolento, he was cool in Final Fight, but in Street Fighter Zero 2, he was freaking awesome. I'll admit that. But down the road, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And, we had a new character introduced in the like of Sakura, whom had the Japanese schoolgirl attire, whom I equated to as the Sailor Moon bitch. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Did I go over everything? Oh, wait. And this game actually included basically, the concept of Evil Drew, and, gave us Shingoki and everything, which is epic, which is awesome. So this game came out in 1996, and, I actually just was on the verge of completing my first year of martial art training. Was on the verge of it. And I actually had, I didn't have many friends in school, but I had some people that I hung out with in my dojo. And one of them actually became a long-term friend that I kept seeing and keep corresponding with. And, there was another dojo that opened nearby, and we had a bit of a rivalry. My dojo and another dojo. And both dojos being predominantly Taekwondo dojos and everything. Although my dojo had more karate strikes and everything, but still. And both of us always ended up having a beef, primarily because the intermediary spot was an arcade that had Street Fighter Zero 2. And basically, I normally play Ken, hence if you notice my getup right here, I'm dressed a little bit more like Ken. But then after that, playing with Ken a little bit more, I actually really appreciated. I actually appreciated some of the kicks that he utilized and everything. But by the same token, I started to realize, those kicks look cool and everything. And in practicing, I I was able to at least do some of his kicks. But with the beef that I have with the other dojo, I noticed something. A lot of those people were executing those kicks a lot better than I did, but they were impractical. And like someone will try to do a high kick towards me and everything, and it was very easy to like weave out the way, sweep somebody, or give somebody a body blow and everything. So as cool as Ken was in the video game, I started to realize like maybe applying his fighting style in fights was not really useful. And so Street Fighter Zero 2 had me try to incorporate some of my fighting techniques with some of the characters that I saw in the game and apply them with fighting some of those guys. And as well, like, Street Fighter Zero 2 gave me the confidence more so that I'm like, okay, can I execute this? Can I execute that? Had me take certain things from certain people and everything. Like, for example, Sagat in the game. Sagat was like, basically, he was in all games, he was really grounded, but I noticed that Sagat always used a lot of, when he used his kicks, he used a lot of roundhouse kicks, and he used a lot of crosses and everything, And basically, like, I actually adopted a mixture of basically, like, some of Sagat, the way Sagat pulled off his roundhouse kicks, and how he pulled off his crosses, right? But at the same time, I also noticed that Ryu had a spinning back kick that I started to incorporate as well too. So Street Fighter Zero 2 was very fun, but it was also like, it helped me actually try to basically find what worked for me as a martial arts practitioner at that time, and allowed me to incorporate and think of some moves that I probably would not have thought about in my dojo to apply and everything. But within playing that game, I was desperate to get a PlayStation because around that time, PlayStation started getting big and all, and basically I was still rocking the Super Nintendo. So I didn't have as much experience on the home console version up until like 1997. And around that time, when I got the PlayStation, right, and I finally was able to get Street Fighter Zero 2, I discovered that there was an extra person that was incorporated in the game. Cammy. Cammy was a secret character that was implemented in the Street Fighter, what you would call Zero 2 games of the home console versions. And one more thing that I forgot to mention in the arcades. The arcades allowed you to go into specific secret stages. If you remember in the Street Fighter 2 anime, the opening fight sequence between Ryu and Sagat and everything, you were able to play that stage in Street Fighter Zero 2, which I myself personally could never unlock that, and I actually forgot how to do that actually, But it wasn't up until I got the PlayStation game that I was able to actually choose that stage. I kept choosing that stage a lot because that stage was awesome. Another awesome stage is the stage with the waterfall, which was supposed to seal the fate of Nash when he encountered Vega and all. Which I gotta put something in here, which I didn't talk about in Street Fighter Zero, right? Street Fighter Zero and Street Fighter Zero 2, the stages in the backgrounds looked awesome. While Street Fighter Zero had more of a street feel, especially when you fought in Japan, you really felt like you were fighting in the streets more. Street Fighter Zero 2, they incorporated some decent elements, some great backstages, like with Guy Stage, you're fighting in the alley and everything. Awesome. With basically Guy Stage, you're fighting in the alley. In what you would call a dance stage in Hong Kong, you're fighting in the marketplace, which I've actually done quite a few times. So that was pretty cool. And then in Birdie Stage, you're fighting in a dingy bathroom. Come on, I was in high school at the time. How many bathroom fights have anyone has been in during high school? So that was also awesome. But the backgrounds were still, even though they didn't have the street feel, in Zero 2, they still elaborated in the, basically how big the world was. Because in all the other Street Fighter games before, the world kind of felt contained a little bit. While you got different backgrounds and everything, and you traveled around the world, you still felt a little confined and everything. Street Fighter Zero 2 actually made you really, really feel like, holy crap, we're in a way, a much bigger world out here, And in addition, the music was awesome. Some of these, newer twists and everything to some of the original themes, right? They felt new, but they also felt kind of old at the same time, which was amazeballs as well, too. So, of all the Zero games, Street Fighter Zero was my personal favorite, and to be honest, I feel that Street Fighter Zero 2 was the best of all the Zero games. And I know this is a controversial comment, so agree, disagree, drop me a comment below, give me a like, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, which links are below, subscribe, ring that bell so you know when a new video loads, and I will not be ending my Street Fighter Zero review next video. I'm going to delay that for a little bit to explain something, but what's going to be covered next, you'll find out. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. I'll catch you guys later.